Hello, guys. Happy Wednesday. The topic of today, we are gonna talk about this problem that I see that it is normally having relationships when you are too young. You know, when you are in high school, middle school. You know, these are ages that normally, when you are in that age in that era, normally what is normal is to always trying to find the attention of women. That's normally what society tells you. You need to have a girlfriend. You by you being around with your friends. It's always it feels like the coolest to talk with multiple women who have more women, and I don't know. I feel like the experience that I had here in high school, I was coming from another country, and it kind of gave me a perspective of how they truly focus a lot in something that it should be intimate, something that it should be personal, as it is you sharing something with somebody. You are dating somebody. Everything that happens in that relationship should be close. But we are kids. We are very immature, and that's something that it should have a lot of meaning for our lives, as it is a relationship, as it is having to trust somebody, build something with somebody. It's something pretty serious, something pretty beautiful, as it is when you get older. But when you are a kid, you still kind of want to have that, but you don't really care about that person as much. And we neglect all these toxic things, all these negative things that happen in that relationship when you guys are too young. And the thing is that can build traumas for the future when you actually an adult. There is people that is still with trauma from when they were high school because they were talking with somebody and they're cheat on them with multiple women, or the otherwise, it happens. But just people get trauma, and there is some people that don't get over it because they've been constantly jumping first of all straight in relationships, because as I say, this is something that if you don't have a girlfriend or if you have nobody, normally you feel in a sense a brum, or you feel like you're doing something wrong because you don't have it. And normally people around you, they have it, and they talk that that's the normal thing to have. So you feel bad within yourself when you are alone. So that's why people constantly, since they're young, they start to jump straight to a relationship, boom, 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 and they never get the chance to know themselves, to build values. Because I feel like every human being, we need to set values in order to be with somebody. It's completely fine to have values. But when we're young, we just because we want the company of that person, we allow that person to sometimes step on us. Sometimes do a lot of bad things that now if you think it in a other perspective, you would never allow that. But just because you're young and you are kind of in love, you feel something, you allow a lot of things that it can affect you in your life in the future. And this can produce a lot of bad things for you, as it is healing from past relationships that they were always when you were young. But you grow up with that mentality of people cheating on you multiple times, or people being negative multiple times, that when you get something new, when you get something that is normally should be a relationship, you get scared. You get to wonder, okay, what is this, like, something new. And some people don't there, because there's it's so familiar to fight, toxic things, gels, all this kind of stuff, that people normally, if they grew up with it, they make it familiar. So now they think it's good. Now they think it's something normal. And when somebody comes with other perspective of you are not gonna scream at me, you're not gonna yell at me, because we can respect each other with words. We're gonna have a lot of disagreements, but we are trying to work on it. That's what our relationship should build by communication. Do we actually have these kind of things when you were young? No, when you're young, you don't know a lot of things. You know, you normally allow yourself to be influenced by your friends, by your surrounded ones, by whatever adults tells you. Because I've been hearing a lot of bad advices from even old people. You know, oh, like when I said like I genuinely want to get married young and have kids. Young is about 26, 27. Like I already want to have settled. It's normally the old people that they're like, you should have fun. Like, don't think about having. Why do we have the concept of, you know, like, it's fine to meet people. It's fine to meet people. I'm not gay. I know I'm never against it. But if you are locked in with somebody, if you like somebody, that person should mean the whole world for you because it's a commitment. Like what else will you be in a relationship if you know you are not gonna be loyal to that person? Do you allow your temptations to get over you? Do your temptations control you? I mean, like you can't really you can really explain or you can really justify when you cheat on somebody. You might say, "Oh, I just thought that person was beautiful." It's fine to, if you are in a relationship, you see somebody pretty, you might think that in your head it's nothing bad, just get over it. You're not doing anything. But if by you cheating on somebody, now you're taking that action, you're texting that person, you're planning on the date, you are gonna be there, and you guys have sex. So, or whatever type of communication, since the beginning it was already cheating. So you are conscious about it. It's not about just a reflect. You are not an animal. You can reflect on your things. But when we are young, that's the thing. It's a lot of temptations. A lot of things that normally people tell you, like, yo, just be with multiple women or be with multiple boys. Just be around, be fun, having fun. These are normally things that it's normally more for the boys. Normally that sadly, pretty sadly, around the boys is always the thing of who can you be multiple with, you know, and they start telling the story with the woman. This is all crazy kind of stuff that that you shouldn't be sharing with nobody. But we as a kids, we take everything as a game, So it's a something that it really affect people in their life. Like in high school, how many things or how many photos, sadly, once in a while you used to hear that somebody pass around pictures of somebody. Do you know how much does that can affect a kid? You know how much does that can affect that person for the rest of their life? They're not gonna never gonna trust anybody. And that's something, you can say like, oh, you shouldn't be sending pictures, bro. If you are in a relationship with somebody, if you guys have that type, of conversations, or you guys like to make that things, it's completely fine. It's something that you guys both agree on it, but the agreement is only you two. So you shouldn't have in the mind of, it's never their fault. It's never about the people that send the pictures. It's about who posts them, because you are disgusting. You as a human being, you're posting a picture that somebody trusts on you, that that person gave you, opportunity to see their body, and you decide to post it on social media because you were mad, because you were whatever the fucking reason is disgusting, completely disgusting. I don't think you deserve, you know, I think you deserve going to jail because that. I mean, I'm not gonna get there, but it's just something that it can really affect that person for the rest of their life. Not something to joke about. And when you were a kid, we don't see these things. We don't see how serious things are, or we pretend we don't see them. So just because we're kids, um, we allow these things to happen. And this is something that we have to work on. So, for my personal advice, my personal thought is, if you're young, don't try to force any relationship. If you, oh wait, if you meet somebody and it was a strange feeling that out of nowhere you guys feel connected, everything feel like pretty good, you weren't looking for it, like you weren't in the like in the stage of looking for a relationship, but it just happens, completely fine, have fun, love with that person, experience with that person, and feel all the type of emotions that you're gonna feel with that particular person. But if you are somebody that doesn't really have nobody, stay like that, please. This is your time where you can find out about yourself. You can still decide who you want to be, learn about yourself, have fun in life, spend, have trips, because when you grow more and more, you're gonna see that you're gonna have less time for yourself, less time to decide certain things. You're not gonna have as much freedom to maybe take those trips. And this is something that you only realize when you get old, when you see all the things that you used to could have done before, or the chances that you had before, that now just because you are an adult you have more responsibilities you can't do at the moment. But when you start young at trying to get a visualization about who you want to be, what do you like to do, you like to read, you like to draw, like you're doing something. When you start doing young something and you find it like passion about it, you can become great at this, and this can be your job for the entire life. And when you kind of make something that you like your job, it's not even a job anymore. Something that you actually wake up every day and you feel prepared to embrace this, because this is something that you don't even see as work. You see it as something that you love, and that gives you energy, that gives you positivity, that gives you you know a power that is inside of us that is like, damn, I want more. Like, I wonder how much can I go with this. What experience can I get if I go through this. But this is a topic that we're gonna talk about later. Just remember that I don't really recommend relationships where you're young. You should be focusing on yourself. And if you are gonna have a relationship, just be prepared, or be conscious about the person you are with, and build your values. If somebody stepped on your values, sorry, right away, kick them. You don't need an explanation. Kick them right away. More when you're young. If you are somebody that's young and you have big expectations, keep it like that. It's gonna help you way more than being in multiple relationships because you decide to lower your expectations. Follow your heart, follow your decision, and have pride with the person that you are.